so let's just get right into it, beloveds. Everyone, please get those likes up. Please get those likes up. Okay, and so here we have another Diddy apologist. Okay, so let's talk about it because days ago, when Rolling Stone broke down that 6-month investigation, Kalenna Harper was caping for Diddy. All right, and we're going to talk about that more, but also another person who used to be his assistant who interned for him. Well, she wants to talk about the fun that she had with Diddy. And here's what she says. Saumya Krishnamurthy. She says, my first hip-hop internship at Bad Boy Records, I briefly worked in Diddy's office when he dated Cassie. It was my dream job. I never saw or experienced abuse, but that's my story. It's important we don't get blinded by biases or fandom and let victims share their stories. Well, I absolutely agree. We should absolutely let victims share their stories. But here's the thing. With all of the things that's going on with Diddy, all of these allegations and the footage, especially that nefarious footage that we saw of him doing those things to Cassie. If you did have a good experience with Diddy, that's all fine. But if I were her, I would have kept that to myself. Okay, I would have kept that to myself because at the end of the day, nobody cares. Nobody really cares right now, okay? And I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of history. That's what I wouldn't want to do. And so, it's good that she had a good experience with him and all of that. But caping for Diddy right now is not the thing to do, okay? Especially after that video came out. Please pay attention. Now, like I told you all days ago, Kalenna Harper came out and was clearly caping for Diddy, honey, and she had some things to say. And I told you how she was basically acting like people just butthurt, been out of shape, or maybe they had disgruntled worker syndrome. Isn't that what she called it? I find it all nefarious. Now, one would be hard-pressed to find people willing to defend Diddy, given all that has happened lately. But one of his former artists took on that responsibility. A former member of Dirty Money called out ex-Bad Boy signees who have been trashing him and claimed that they have disgruntled employee syndrome. No, she didn't. Now, Kalenna Harper was one of the many people interviewed by Rolling Stone for their scathing piece documenting 6 months of investigation into the Bad Boy founder's life, allegations, and horrific untold stories. Singer-songwriter Kalenna Harper says that one of the highs of her life was joining Combs's Dirty Money or Diddy Dirty Money group in 2009. Now, she said he was effing cool as ish. That's what she said, adding that artists who blame Combs for the trajectory of their careers may suffer from disgruntled employee syndrome. Now, let's talk about that for a second because I find it all interesting. Just because Diddy didn't run game on her, didn't play her out of her coins, or whatever, or steal her publishing or any of those things, didn't go upside her head, didn't put paws on her. Let's not try to minimize what the people making these accusations, okay, how they feel and the experiences that they went through. Let us not call them disgruntled employees, okay? Because she doesn't know their experiences, apparently. She can't say that. Now, if you want to say that you had a good experience with him, that's fine. But don't try to speak on others' experiences or try to discount it. Okay, that's what we're not going to do. There has been a myriad of people that have talked about how Diddy was stealing from them. One of them was the late Christopher Wallace, also known as Biggie, of the notorious B.I.G. He knew that Diddy was stealing from him as well, and that's why he was leaving. Okay, and let's not forget how some people seem to think that Diddy had something to do with his demise. Okay, please pay attention, honey. I don't even know why she felt the need to come out and say that. If you had a good experience with him, that's fine. Good for you, beloved. But what about the people who did not? And two things can be true at the same time. He could have been good to some people and nefarious to others, because my thing is, some people know who to mess with, okay? There's always that bully who knows who they can bully. They can see it in the person's eye. They know that they can be intimidated and even menacing to certain people. But they also at the same time know that there's some people who are not going to take their mess, so they know not to even try it. They can look at some people and see that those people want all the smoke. I mean, now look at Kalenna. She doesn't look like somebody that would just sit there and let Diddy put paws on her and go upside her head. To me, she doesn't look it. And let's not forget, she used to be on Love and Hip Hop, but we already know from watching her on there that she's about that smoke. So maybe that's why she had a pleasant time with Diddy. Maybe he didn't, go in on her or do anything nefarious to her. But let's not, just because of that, let us not try to act like these people saying things about him. These people that are accusing him of taking their money, their publishing, or, doing things to him or to them like intimidation tactics, abusing them physically, verbally, or any of these other things. Let's not try to discount their experiences. That's really asinine as far as I'm concerned. And at the end of the day, let's not forget that Miss Valletta Wallace, Biggie's mother, just said yesterday that she wants to slap him. Okay? Let's not forget that you all know I reported that on the backup channel for those of you who missed it. But at the end of the day, yeah, she said she wants to slap the taste out of Diddy's mouth, and you can quote her on that. Isn't that what she said? And I find it also interesting because I want to slap him too if I ever see him. I just might. Okay? Please pay attention. And so I just find it interesting that these young ladies, find at this moment that it's time for them to come out and try to cape for Diddy. Like, please sit down somewhere. And that's the young lady who was, in fact, his intern, okay? Salmaya Krishmurthy. So, yeah, real crazy. I don't know why they had to come out and say that. That's something that I definitely would have kept to myself. Please pay attention at the end of the day. And like I said, Miss Valletta Wallace says she definitely wants to slap him. And for those of you who missed that on the backup channel, basically, she said, I want to slap the daylights out of Sean Combs. I hope to God that he sits with his mother, or that I hope to God he sits his mother down and spills his guts and apologizes to her, she says. Well, here's the thing. I don't think he has to sit down and explain or apologize to his mother because, in fact, it is in my opinion and belief that his mother knows exactly what he's been up to. Okay? I think she knows exactly what was going down according to those allegations in the lawsuit, right? Specifically the one filed by Grace Omar Cake. When she said his mother was sitting there when they were playing that game, Carisha Please, or whatever that game was they were playing, right? Where he pulled down his pants on a dare and pulled out that cucumber. Honey, anyone that does that in front of their mother, I hardly think that they have respect for their mother. All right? I hardly think so. But anyway, goes on to say it's been a steady stream of harrowing allegations against Diddy since his former girlfriend Cassandra Cassie Ventura filed her sex trafficking lawsuit against the former Bad Boy founder in November, detailing numerous instances of violent physical abuse and all of that. We already know how that goes. And then that video came out, and Miss Valletta Wallace says, I am sick to my stomach. Okay? She talked about multiple allegations of violence and sexual abuse against Combs. She says, I'm praying for Cassie. I'm praying for his mother. I don't want to believe the things that I've heard. And I've seen the hotel video. I pray that he apologizes to her. I hope that I see Sean one day, and the only thing I want to do is slap the daylights out of him. And you can quote me on that because I liked him. I didn't want to believe all the awful things, but I'm so ashamed and embarrassed, okay? Yeah. Diddy's the one who should be embarrassed. I want you all to pay attention because one thing about it is Diddy has been going around whooping arse and taking names. That's what he's been doing, okay? Make no mistake. Right? Diddy has put hands allegedly on many people, men and women. Okay? He has shown a history of violence. And that's exactly what that expose done by Rolling Stone magazine pretty much said. Okay? Rolling Stone exposed him for all that he was and is and has ever been, as far as I'm concerned. And so, I just find it interesting, like I said, that they want to cape for Diddy at this point in time. Please sit down somewhere, ladies. Okay? Keep that to yourselves, because at the end of the day, if you had a good experience with him, then consider yourselves lucky that he didn't put them paws on you, that he didn't dangle, contracts over your head with asking you to do inappropriate things and making you to be with sex workers that you didn't in fact want to be with. Okay? Please consider yourselves lucky that he didn't threaten to blackball you and blacklist you if you didn't give him what he wanted or do every last thing that he said. Consider yourselves lucky, but please, whatever you do, don't brag about it. Don't sit there and try to cape for it. Okay, don't sit there and try to discount what other people went through as if that's not important because you had a good experience. And especially, how do you say such a thing when you saw that video of what he absolutely did? We all saw with our own eyes what he did to Cassie. Okay, please make it all make sense. Now, you all drop me a line to let me know what you think about it because I find it all nefarious. Why did this lady come out talking about she used to be his intern? I mean, is she like trying to say pick me, because that's what it sounds like her and Kalenna are both doing, like they're just trying to stay on Diddy's good side in case he gets out of this. But that's the last thing that's going to happen. Diddy's not getting out of it. Okay, that indictment's coming. Diddy's going to jail. He's going to stand trial, and hopefully, if we're all lucky, he'll be found guilty of everything that he was accused of that is absolutely factual. With that all been said, y'all drop a line and let me know what you think. Peace and blessings.